Hi guys, Christine here with a little follow-up video on how to make these adorable mini little tassels that I absolutely love. In my last video I did show a method of doing it, but I felt like the camera was pretty far away from the action and maybe you couldn't see all the details. So this is what we're doing today, and it's easy and fun, and you might say no hassle tassel. That would be great additions to junk journals, ephemera, whatever you've got going on. So let's get creating. Alright, so to make these cute, adorable, delightful little tassels, all you need is some embroidery thread, and this is just a regular skein of DMC embroidery floss, and I've wrapped it on a cardboard. We're going to wrap the embroidery floss around this fork 30 times. Now you can go fewer times, but then your tassel will be thinner. Alright, so there's 30, and you can see I didn't let it travel the length of the fork. I just wrapped it around, kept it kind of tight, and that's a good way to do it. Now we're going to take the length of thread that's going to be the tail that attaches our tassel to the project, so you need to make it the length that's suitable for your project. And this length would be great for mine. Put the needle, and you can see here, let's get that in focus, that hollow area in between, that's where we're going. So on the first space between the first two tines, I'm going to just go right through that hollow area in between our threads and come through. And I could take the needle off. I'm going to pull it to the side here so it's up on the upper edge of the fork, and we are going to tie a knot. And you want it pretty tight. I'm going to tighten that up. And then pull. There we go. So now you can see, you can ignore this little guy, it's going to ultimately come off later. But you can see we have gathered up with one knotted thread. I'm going to put a knot on the other end of these two threads because they are our attaching tail, and I don't want to cut them by accident later. So that will help them stay together. And that's what we have. So we have it on the fork, little tail, and a knot, and we're good. So now we need another length of thread, maybe 12 or so inches. And again, we're going to put the needle on one side. Okay, so now we get it all even again. So we're going to leave this on one side, and on the other side we're going to make a little loop. We're going to leave a tail of maybe 4 or 5 inches. We're going to make a loop like so. And that could be almost any size. We're going to take the loop and lay it across our tassel, what would be tassel. Now we have this tail, a short piece, and we have the needle end. We're going to take the needle end and we're going to put it in between. We're just going to carry it in between the two tines and then come up down here at the end of the fork and pull. So what we're doing here is we're simply wrapping. We're gathering up all the pieces of thread. You can see what's happening. Come up here, and you want to make sure that you avoid your tail. So I usually go 3 or 4 or 5 times, kind of depends. Oops, just dropped it. Come back up, pull, and then on your last time, again 3 or 4 times, 5 times, come up, and I'm going to go into the loop. So see the loop? I'm going to go into that loop. Okay, and I can just let that dangle. So here's our other tail from that same thread and the needle thread, and I'm going to pull them both a little bit and see what happens when I pull them. Now I'm just going to pull on the tail part on the right side. And you can see it pulls the knot right under our gathering threads, and that's exactly what we want. So now I can take the needle off. This thread we could just trim because it's just going to become part of the tassel. And our other head that we were just using, we're going to put the needle on that side now. And let me clean up that edge, it might go a little faster. There we go. Perfect. So now, with the other tail, we're going to put the needle, let's get it in focus, under our original knot, the original knot we made for our attaching tail. I'm going to bring it to the back. So now it just blends in, flip it over, and now all we have to do is take this and go underneath our gathering threads and let it go into the main part of the tassel and pull. So it just disappears. And that is really it. So this too we can just snip off. So now we want to transfer the tassel from the fork to the scissors. And you could just slide it on like so. And then pull, give it nice and taut, and snip. So now what I like to do, there's always this extra piece that comes out. It's fine, it'll just come out. You just toss it. So then what I like to do, we could tidy these up a little. And I like to unravel these. And I find that, so see how kind of bulky it is and it's not very delicate. It just, the threads are large. Well, if you take a cat brush and go at it with the cat brush, it will automatically unravel your threads into fine, delicate threads and make it really beautiful. Now when it does that, it does fuzz up the bottom a bit. You can see it's all fuzzy there. So now I'm just going to take this, I'm going to grab an original label that came with the floss. I'm going to send it through. Just to the end, and then I'm going to trim it straight across. Get a nice, sorry, did I do that out of camera? Sorry, so I just trimmed it straight across, and you can see it has a nice now even end. We take that off, and there is one adorable little tassel with all the knots hidden. It's a beautiful thing. So that can go on your project, and that's all there is to it.